Okay, we'll call it to order. Austin, do the pledge.
Everyone please stand. The right hand on your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Austin. Roll call, please.
Christ,
Present.
Bishop,
Present.
Barger,
Present.
So we're going to do 1 and 2 together.
items 1 through 3 are the consent agenda.
Okay.
Move.
Second. We have a motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Number 4.
Item 4 is to receive and order filed the comprehensive annual financial report for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2019.
Any concerns?
No concerns. This is the typical comprehensive annual financial report. It's done meeting all of the government standards with respect to accounting for these purposes. It's audited by an independent certified public accountant. They had no findings by the auditor. We do submit the CAFR report to the Government Finance Officers Association. They review it, and for the 35th or 36th year in a row, we got the Excellence Award with respect to meeting all the requirements for transparency. For this district in particular, operating revenues were down 0.7%, but expenses were down 1.7%, so held the line there. Everything else has been going quite well. Of course, these reports are typically used by investors, rating agencies. District 14 maintained its credit rating of AA-, so that's a good rating for a district of this size. And one other note, I sometimes get questioned, our pension funding status, we're at 78%. Obviously, you'd like to be at 100%. If you're down under 60% or around 50%, you're in trouble. So the agency as a whole is kind of in the middle there, but we're at 78%. And we have been up and down in the 70s for the last few years. So that was it for that. No findings, and this is just a receive and file.
And what is our obligation? What is the amount? We're at 78%. The other 22%, what is that amount?
That total amount is about agency-wide, a little bit over $300 million or so, I believe.
Okay.
Will that fluctuate as the years go on?
That does fluctuate. Well, it will actually go down over time. As you may know, CalPERS has instituted new accounting requirements, and they have changed how much they expect to get from their investments based on, and also things like longevity and all that. So over time, it will slowly go down. It will also go down as our classic employees retire and new employees come in. The new PEPRA employees have different benefits. They're required to contribute half of their normal costs, so that will over time reduce the burden. For the next few years, we do expect it to probably go up a little bit, and then it's projected to start coming down agency-wide.
Okay.
Would it behoove us to take the money out of reserves to pay our portion down?
We've looked at that a little bit. This district in particular, the reserves are a little bit under where we want them to be because, we've had capital expenses and everything. What we do as an agency is, for all of our obligation, we don't pay in monthly installments. We pay at the beginning of the year to gain the benefit of the accrual. So we do that. But we will look at that. We have been stable, and the hope is over the next few years that funding level starts going back up.
Can you bring us back something that would show the plus and minuses that
of paying additional amount to pay it down? Okay.
Because I'd like to be somewhere in the 14, under 15%.
Less funded. Okay, like greater than 85% funded.
Right.
Okay.
So someone is. We have a.
It's just receive and file.
Wait a minute. Need to turn her mic on for that.
I said, I'm taking in your beauty.
We just need to receive and file this, right?
Yes.
Okay, I need a motion to receive and file.
Move. Second.
We have a motion to receive and file. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Number 5.
Item 5 is to determine district surplus groundwater rights and City of Lancaster's portion of the calendar year 2020 in accordance with surplus groundwater agreement with the city.
So as you are aware, District 14 owns some groundwater rights from the land that District 14 owns. This total amount is right around 3,000 total acre feet. A large portion of these water rights are leased out to the Calandry Farms for their use to develop a farming operation on district property. The city has requested, though, kind of an annual accounting of excess water for the district that is available potentially for sale in that given year, for use by the city, for sale to another party. And this report is being made on with respect to that agreement. As a result, you'll see in the summary for the agenda item, the total surplus for the district is 1,054 acre feet, of which the city of Lancaster is about 80% of District 14. So it comes out to about 822 acre feet per year as excess and available. Now, this number is higher than the number last year, and that is because as part of the farming lease, you'll recall that we installed 3 new wells out at the farm for the farmer. And when you install a well, you never know how much water you're going to get. It was estimated that the water was going to be, 2,800 acre feet from those 3 wells, but it's really closer to 2,000 acre feet. So as part of the lease, then Calandry Farms' lease rate gets reduced, and that water is now available for District 14 or for the city through a transaction if necessary. So that's how this number came up. This is just...
I thought we straightened that out last time. I thought if he pays for the full amount, it was my understanding, if he pays for the full amount, he maintains the full amount. If he reduces it, if he chooses to reduce it by the amount that the wells produce, then we'll reduce the amount of water.
That wasn't in the discussion. The second part of what you're saying is accurate because that was in the lease agreement. That was how it was structured. But as you're aware, I think, we had a proposed lease amendments. We sent them to them. They have requested 2 additional changes, and so right now we're kind of in limbo. One of the changes is the fact that, he does not want his water reduced. He wants to use other wells to come up with the water difference, but he also, as part of that, wanted to switch the ability to not only move 50% of the water off the site, but he wanted that moved to 100%, which obviously was not the direction that the board wanted. So we have to go back to him.
Okay. Why do we keep poking this bear? Because we keep... I thought we made it clear what we wanted at the last meeting.
We did, and that's exactly what was offered to him.
Okay, well, what you're telling me isn't what I understood to be true.
The issue at last meeting, the issue with respect to the well production rate hadn't been determined. That came out shortly after that when the wells went online. The wells went online in late October, early November.
So can I make a motion knowing, and I don't know if that's going to impact voting on this today, but can we have a full report back because in terms of what is being negotiated and the parameters so that we can take action at the next meeting? Because it sounds to me, I mean, in the second part of what you said is what I understood. The first part, I don't even know that we excuse the pun, drilled down that far on that issue. But clearly, if there's negotiations going on now that have changed the direction that this body took when we took the initial vote, I think it's important for us to be aware of that. because it sounds like there are changes or modifications that are being requested that we may agree with if given the opportunity. So if you're negotiating on something, I think we need to know what the parameters are so that we can say if that's the
I
direction.
don't think we should just unilaterally do it, just to do across. If we've given him those rights, I would not agree with moving 100% of the water. So
Yeah.
that's
Right.
just, but it was where the wells were located. We had a problem with. I mean, there's a litany of problems that have happened with this. If I had to do it all over, I wouldn't do it. But I think he's been very generous with us as far as I know that he has made it profitable for him by doing it because the circumstances have changed.
Yeah.
But we haven't really performed like we should be performing. I don't think that that's happened.
Yeah, one easy thing to discuss is if the city does not have plans to use this surplus water, it makes sense for the district, if Calandria Farms is willing to use it, to get some revenue from it, right? Instead of just bringing this water in and banking it for some unknown purpose, we could get revenue for it this year. So we can discuss that, and I can bring it back to the next board meeting.
No, I do not, everything we've been trying to do on this has been to stop a lawsuit from happening. And everything that I'm seeing is happening is you keep pushing it and or changing it. We told them it would do 7,500 gallons per minute, okay? It didn't. It did far less than that. And now we're saying, well, if it didn't produce that, then and we made changes in it and we extended the lease, and we said, okay, well, don't pay for this portion. So we've made extensive changes on this,
Correct.
This whole thing. But the intent was to give him 2,850 gallons of water. Is that correct?
That was up to 2,850. It's understood that when you put in wells, you don't know exactly what you're going to get.
Okay, but then we started talking about the transferability of water.
Correct.
Okay, so then we're actually using the water, and now we're going back, and the availability of water has changed within the district, which makes the water more valuable, and it makes it look like we're going after the water now, which is not the case.
No. Yeah.
That's what it's making it look like, is our intent, which we voted on, was to give him 2,850 acre feet of water. Okay? If he still wants that water, I'm going to push that he maintains at least, if he pays for it, he gets it.
If you provide that direction today, we can move forward with that item. Yeah, I mean, we can then adjust it accordingly.
If that's what was agreed to the last time.
Yeah, the only issue there is, in order to use that amount of water, he would have to use some other wells. So there are conditions with respect to, if he's willing to do that, he assumes the maintenance of those additional wells. Those are old wells, something to that effect.
So the only change you brought up that I'm really hearing is the transferability.
Then, well, that it
doesn't
sounds
really-
like the board's not in agreement with. Yeah, is that
yeah,
the
which
full
doesn't really-
100% transferability?
Not for all the years of the lease.
Yeah. Yeah.
It goes.
It was supposed to be 100, then
I think it's
75.
100, I think I'll have to go back and look
Yes.
at my notes, but it was like 100, and then 50, 50, 50, 50, and then at the last year was 100 that they could transfer any unused water.
Provided that he's farming 300 acres, I think you had
Correct.
agreed to. Yes, yeah. So if you provide that direction, we can move forward with that.
Everyone by consensus is good with
Yeah.
that? You good with that?
Yeah.
Okay,
you
so
have it.
allowing the Calandria Farms to fully utilize the 2,850, whatever it was, the exact number, provided he pay for it, but no change to the rates already agreed to with respect to what he could transfer off-site.
Correct.
Okay, good. We'll do that. And then, as a result of that, then, we will resubmit a revised number here. That drastically lowers this number to, like, I think, 150 acre feet then are available in this calendar year for the city.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we can just
This is
put number 5 deferred till next month?
Yeah, I don't know what action we were really looking for on this. This is just, if you're okay with the 150 acre feet, we will send a letter to the
I'm not
city.
okay with 150 feet. I would like far more than 150 feet.
Well,
But
we
I
all
think
Based on the availability. So I would move the motion as amended,
Okay.
because you can do that if it's amended and it's
Correct.
calendared. So I'd move the motion as amended.
I'll second it.
Yeah. The only step that will occur now is our staff will send to the Lancaster City staff an official letter saying 150 acre feet is determined as surplus. Let us know what you want to do with it.
Okay, perfect.
That's it. All right.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any comments?
I've not received any.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, we stand adjourned.